Welcome back to the Taiwan Outlook. I'm your host, Ray Guo. In this segment, we will continue our conversation with City Councilman Ron Litinsky from the City of Dallas. And we're going to talk about the sister city relationship that Dallas has since 1996 with Taipei. I know, Ron, that you were very instrumental in that process. Can you share with us your experience in terms of establishing the sister city relationship between City of Dallas and City of Taipei?
Well, Raymond, as somebody who spent the last 40 years in the private sector doing business internationally, when I got on the council, it was very important for me to make sure that the City of Dallas began establishing relationships internationally.
Yes.
Actually, the sister city relationship started before I was on the council with the previous mayor, who's named Ron Kirk.
Okay.
And he and Dr. Koo and others came over on a visit and signed the original sister city relationship. Good. And since then, we have made annual trips over to Taipei, and Taipei has visited Dallas on a continuing basis. And I think with the strengths of it is we have a big Taiwanese chamber. We even have a young Taiwanese chamber for the the youth
as for the younger generation.
The generation, just the one a little bit under us, Raymond.
Okay.
And maybe not you, but under me. And it's good to keep the ties culturally back, to Taiwan and to establish the relationships. You cannot to a lot of Americans, they feel that they can fly into a city and meet somebody and do business and go home and everything is fine. Doesn't work that way.
No, not here.
And so we've tried to change the focus over the last 4 years to make sure that we have continuing relations, even in today's world of the internet and email and video phone.
Teleconferencing.
Nothing means more than to sit down face to face, have dinner, have some tea, and talk to people and build that relationship. So it's very important to Dallas. And the interesting thing is that we have cities of a common size, very similar. We're both very entrepreneurial cities.
Yes.
And
people also work hard and play hard.
Yeah, we work hard and we play hard. So I think that it's a good match. It's a good marriage.
Yes. I understand that the foundation between the two cities is already very strong.
Yes.
But what are the areas that you would like to see as a member of the City Council that the two sister cities can build in the future?
Well, obviously the first thing on a lot of people's mind is business.
Yes, commerce.
How can we help each other?
Yeah.
And Dallas is a city that has a lot of emerging technologies. So there's obviously the ability for technology transfer because while we have some manufacturing, we're not considered a manufacturing city. The work that we get manufactured is done somewhere else. So obviously there's a good partnership that can be built that way.
Yes.
And just even the climate. If you look at where both of our cities are located, we're kind of right around the globe at the same time.
Exactly.
So the weather here is similar to the weather
in Dallas.
In Dallas.
Even though we're maybe a little more humid.
Well, okay. And we might be a little warmer, but it's close. And but Taiwan is our third largest trading partner on an international scale. So it's very important to us. And what's unusual about it, and I think makes it more valuable, is our exports and our imports with Taiwan are just about balanced. So unlike some other countries where we import a lot and we don't export as much, so it's really better, I think, from our perspective, to have good balanced trade than to have imbalanced larger trade.
Deficits either way. Yeah. And Ron, you also mentioned that since our two cities are pretty much located around the same perimeters around the globe, then maybe one area in science and technology that we can work with is on the solar, alternative or renewable energy, which is, of course, it's a government priority in Taiwan. And how does that, fit into Dallas's economic plan for the future?
Well, it fits very well, Raymond, because the City of Dallas has been a leader in making changes in the way it operates to be more environmentally sensitive and to have less of a carbon footprint and to move into things like solar. Now, solar, admittedly, we're not quite there.
No.
But, for example, all the buildings we build are built to LEED Silver certification.
Okay, good.
We have what we call a green building code, so you have to build buildings in a green way.
Yes.
The city's perspective, we buy almost half of our electricity every year from clean sources, wind or solar generation or hydro.
That's terrific.
And our fleet of cars is almost 60% of some sort of hybrid or alternate type fuel. So we've been making good inroads, and in fact what we're currently exploring is the ability to convert some of our buildings, such as libraries and rec centers, to be solar powered. One thing Dallas has, we have a lot of sun.
Yes.
So it's
a ideal location.
Perfect location. So we certainly look forward. In fact, we have had about a month ago, we had a visit in Dallas from one of the big leading solar panel manufacturing companies here on a visit, and we have a visit with them reciprocally on this trip to visit their facility, and we've had other inquiries. So we're certainly, we want to work toward that because it can be good for both of us.
Yeah, because yes, you know that this is really a government priority. A government just passed, in recent weeks, a huge budget, slated for the next 4 years to try to encourage, firms and developments in the renewable energy area. Let's shift the focus a little bit. Talk about the people-to-people relationship. We understand that there is a significant Taiwanese, presence in the city of Dallas, and what kind of cultural activities or exchanges that we do between the two sister cities?
Well, the Taiwanese community in Dallas is very active, and like I said before, we like to work hard and play hard, and one thing I enjoy is getting a Taiwanese community event on my calendar, whether it be New Year's parties or other events, whatever, because it's fun. And I think the communities have melded together very well. We have newspapers, we have schools, we've got grocery stores, we've got a lot of banks, all that have been built out of the Taiwanese community. So an awful lot of the community is what I would call very successful upper middle class or higher part of the community, and so it's a valuable part of the community. It's not something that we ignore or take lightly. For example, on our airport board, and our airport is very important to us. We have a gentleman that's been a long-time community supporter, Robert Shu, that serves as the director of our airport. So we have a lot of people from the community. Another gentleman that I appointed to our transit board that is today meeting with the Taiwanese, the Taipei metro system, with the president of our metro system in Dallas.
They're both,
I appointed him to that board, and so they're meeting today, and I believe on Wednesday we're going to sign an MOU where the two transit agencies can sort of be sister agencies and learn from each other. So we can learn by what you're doing, and you can learn from what we're doing.
So do you see other areas other than people-to-people relations and also to commerce, in addition to science and technology? What other areas that do you see that you would like to see further expansion of a relationship?
Well, relations are very good, and they can only get better. But as the community grows, obviously, you have to do things to accept that growth. One of the things the city of Dallas is looking toward is we're building an Asian cultural center that will be a combination of activity center, meeting place, and museum. And the leadership in the Taiwanese community has helped us in that endeavor, and that's an asset that the city invests in on behalf of the community.
And on this trip, Ron, that you took EVA Airways or one of the Taiwanese Airways? All right. But
I couldn't yet.
Because of your position with the government.
Well, no, because one of the things the purposes of this trip is to try to establish a nonstop flight between Taipei and Dallas.
That was my question. Exactly.
You just didn't ask it that same way.
I mean, you would like to see, of course, Dallas becoming one of the direct, destinations for airline service out of Taiwan or other parts of Asia. And how is that coming along?
Well, it's coming good. We had meetings today with EVA Air and China Air.
Good.
And it's a two-way thing, because right now it's not only commerce and travel between Dallas and Taipei. Now that the cross-straits flights are opening up, you have the ability for Taipei to be another gateway into mainland China and other parts of Asia. Whereas right now you have Narita as a sort of an Asian hub. You have Incheon, China. Incheon, Korea, as another hub. But when you really look at the map and you look where Taipei is situated, It's almost
a much
in a
better
very
location.
Yeah,
yes.
you know, and location is always very important.
Yes.
How do you say it in Chinese?
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you say location?
Location, 地点.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's. I think there's a lot of opportunity there, and with today's aircraft, the range is there, the ability is there,
of course.
and the city. It's a unique situation, but the city of Dallas actually owns the airport in partnership with the city of Fort Worth. And so we own 711s, and the Fort Worth owns 411s. So we're the big brother.
Yes.
But we have a package of incentives in place to help airlines make the decision that flying into the DFW airport is the right business decision.
Yes.
But it has to be good for the city and it has to be good for the airport and for the airline.
Yeah, and also it certainly will be good for the businesses, you know, that do businesses on both sides, and also for people who want to visit, and also for students who want to study in Dallas. Okay, and we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back to the Taiwan Outlook, and we're going to continue discussion with Mr. Ron Litinsky, councilman of the city of Dallas, and we're going to ask him about the purpose of his trip this time to Taiwan. We'll be back in 2 minutes.